There's a strange truth whispered by the wise and feared by the world. You must learn to die before you die, so that when death finally arrives, there is nothing left to take. At first, those words sound like madness. How can one die while still breathing? How can one prepare for the end without losing the will to live? But the Stoic understands. This dying is not the extinguishing of life. It is the quiet art of letting go of everything that was never truly yours, the paradox of death and life. Most people spend their days avoiding death, but in doing so, they avoid life as well. You cling to your identity, your opinions, your possessions, your past. You fear their loss because you believe they define you. You live in defense of what is already fading. But everything you grasp will slip through your fingers. The body will weaken. The mind will wander. The things you love will change form or vanish altogether. And still, you fight. Still, you resist the inevitable turning of the wheel. This resistance, not death itself, is what causes suffering. Because death has never been your enemy. It is the silent sculptor that gives shape to life. Without endings, beginnings would mean nothing. Without night, the day would blind us. To die before you die is to stop resisting the natural rhythm of rise and fall, gain and loss, birth and decay. It is to see, perhaps for the first time, that death is not the opposite of life. It is what completes it, the ego's illusion of permanence. The part of you that fears death is the same part that fears silence, stillness, or change. It is the small voice within that says, I am this. I must remain. The ego, that fragile fiction of me, builds walls out of memories, weaves stories of importance, and declares itself immortal through achievement and recognition. But the Stoic sees this illusion clearly. You are not your name, nor your reputation. You are not your history, nor your possessions. Even your body, which you care for and feed, is merely a temporary garment. To die before you die is to loosen your grip on all of this, to gently withdraw your identity from the fragile scaffolding of form. Imagine for a moment that you let it all go. Your success, your failures, your fears, your titles. Who remains? What is left when everything you cling to dissolves? That is the beginning of true life. For when the false self dies, the real one awakens, the practice of inner death. The Stoics practiced this art daily. They contemplated loss, not with despair, but with acceptance. They rehearsed the inevitable, so that when it arrived, it found them ready, calm, and unafraid. You can do this too. Not as morbid meditation, but as a sacred act of freedom. Begin small. Let something go each day. A grudge, a craving, a need for control. Watch as the mind trembles, then quiets. Notice how much lighter you feel. Each release is a rehearsal, each surrender a soft death. And in that death you begin to taste immortality. For what dies are only the illusions. What remains is the essence, the still presence beneath all movement, the awareness that witnesses all birth and decay without ever being touched by either. This is the part of you that cannot die. But you can only know it when you stop running from death, the freedom of the one who has died. To die before you die is to live without fear. The one who has faced the inevitable has nothing left to defend. He walks lightly, speaks gently, and acts freely, not because he doesn't care, but because he finally understands what truly matters. He still loves deeply, but without possession. He still works diligently, but without desperation. He still enjoys life's beauty, but without clinging to its permanence. Death no longer hides in the shadows of his mind. It walks beside him as a quiet companion, reminding him of the preciousness of each breath. Every sunset becomes more vivid, every smile more sacred, every moment more complete. For the one who has already died within, each day becomes an act of resurrection, the death of meaning and the birth of understanding. When you learn to die before you die, you no longer treat life as a possession to defend. You treat it as a gift to be experienced. You begin to see that all things, your relationships, your ambitions, your joy, your sorrow, exist only for a moment, and that their beauty lies precisely in that. Look at the flower. It blooms fiercely, but not for permanence. It gives itself completely to this brief act of existence. It does not withhold its color for fear of fading. Can you live this way? Can you open yourself so fully to the present that you are willing for it to end, even as you love it with all your being? To do so is to live as the Stoic lives, awake to impermanence, yet unafraid. For one who practices dying daily has already found the secret to living fully. You stop asking life to last forever, and instead begin to ask, can I meet this moment, right here, with honesty, with grace, with presence? Because that is the only immortality that truly exists. Not in continuation, but in completion. Every moment, fully lived, is eternal, the death of fear. We speak of death as though it were an intruder, an unwelcome thief arriving too soon. But what if death is not the thief? What if it is the teacher? Every fear you hold, the fear of rejection, failure, aging, obscurity, is only a small rehearsal for the fear of dying. And so long as you fear death, you will fear life. You will live cautiously, timidly, half alive, holding your breath in a world that is meant to be inhaled fully. But once you face death directly, not as a horror to be avoided but as a truth to be understood, everything changes. The Stoic does not look away from death. He invites it to the table, asks it questions, and listens to what it has to say. Death whispers, "Do not waste your time pretending you are eternal. Do not love halfway. Do not postpone the things your heart longs to create." To hear death's voice is to awaken from the trance of delay. It makes you real again. It burns away the trivial. It leaves only what matters. And what remains when fear dies is freedom, the death of attachment. To die before you die also means to loosen your grasp on what you love, not in cold detachment, but in deep appreciation. The Stoic loves fully, but without ownership. He sees that to love anything, truly, is to honor its right to pass away. He knows that every person he cherishes, every moment he treasures, every joy he feels, is a wave arising from the ocean of existence, brief, luminous, and destined to return. Why should this be cause for despair? Would you curse the wave for falling back into the sea? No. You would watch it crest with awe and smile as it dissolves into the water that bore it. This is how the wise love, not by clinging but by witnessing. To hold lightly is not to love less. It is to love with understanding, because what you love does not need to stay to be real. It only needs to be fully seen while it's here. When you can love this way, you are already beyond death. For death can only take what you refuse to release, the death of time. Dying before you die also means dying to time itself, to the endless measurement of life in minutes, milestones, and memories. You live as though time were a possession, something to save, to manage, to spend wisely. But time cannot be owned. It flows through you like wind through open hands. The more you try to capture it, the more it escapes. To die before you die is to stop measuring, to stop living as a prisoner of past and future. The Stoic stands in the present, unmoved by the illusion of then or when. He does not say, "One day I will be happy." He says, "Here, now, this is enough." He dies to the past that can no longer be changed, and to the future that can never be guaranteed. He rests in the eternal now, the only place where life has ever truly existed. When you live like this, the hours stop chasing you. You no longer run out of time, because you've stepped out of it entirely. And in that timeless stillness, you discover the truth that death has been trying to tell you all along. That life is not something that begins and ends. It simply is the death of the self. The deepest death you will ever experience is not the death of the body. It is the death of who you believe yourself to be. You've built yourself carefully, haven't you? Over years of stories, names, habits, and hopes. You say, "This is me, my face, my past, my beliefs, my reputation." And yet every one of those things is fragile, shifting, impermanent. To die before you die is to allow that illusion to dissolve, to stand before life with no armor, no definition, no mask. That is the greatest courage. Because to drop the idea of me feels like falling into nothingness. The mind screams, "Who will I be if I let go?" But in that very falling, you discover that nothingness is not emptiness, it is freedom. The Stoic understands this intimately. He knows that the person he calls I is not fixed, but a passing expression of something far greater. Like a wave upon the ocean, he rises and falls, but he never leaves the sea. When the wave believes it is separate, it suffers. When it realizes it is the ocean, even its breaking becomes sacred. You, too, are not what comes and goes. You are the awareness that sees both coming and going. That awareness has no name, no beginning, no end. When you recognize this, truly deeply, death loses its grip, because what you are cannot die. Only the story can. The compassion that awakens after the death of self. Once the false self dissolves, you begin to see others differently. You no longer meet people as roles, titles, or functions. You meet them as reflections of the same light. The Stoic no longer says, "You are separate from me." He says, "You and I share the same breath, the same impermanence, the same eventual return to silence." How could he not feel compassion? How could he hold anger or envy, knowing that everyone is simply walking each other home through time? When you die before you die, judgment dies too. Because judgment depends on comparison, and comparison depends on separation. But separation is the first illusion that death destroys. You begin to forgive naturally, not as a moral duty, but as a simple recognition that no one truly owns their actions. We are all carried by forces beyond our control, by memory, fear, circumstance, and conditioning. And in that realization, forgiveness is not something you do. It is something you see. To die before you die, then, is to awaken not just to freedom, but to love. A love without conditions, without possession, without fear. A love that sees the world as one endless reflection of itself, rising and falling, living and dying, but never truly separate. The ocean of consciousness. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the ocean on a still night. Vast, deep, unmoving. On its surface, waves rise and fall, each with its own name, its own motion, its own brief existence. Now imagine that you are one of those waves. You've spent your whole life trying to remain at your peak, trying not to crash, not to dissolve. But eventually, you must. Every wave must return. And yet when you do, you realize something extraordinary. You were never separate from the ocean. You were never truly born, and you never truly died. You simply changed form. The Stoic lives with this awareness. He moves through life as one who knows the ocean cannot drown. He still feels joy, sorrow, and longing, but they flow through him like water through open hands. He knows that trying to resist life's rhythm is like trying to hold back the tide. To die before you die is to stop fighting the current. It is to let go and float, not in surrender to defeat, but in trust of the deep intelligence that moves everything. When you live this way, you no longer need to find peace. Peace finds you, because peace was never something to be earned. It was only hidden beneath your resistance, the freedom of the one who has let go. When the Stoic walks, he walks lightly. When he speaks softly. When he dies smiling. Not because he is detached from life, but because he is one with it. He no longer clings to what must pass, nor fears what must come. He simply moves in harmony with the flow. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet freedom that comes when you finally stop grasping, when you stop trying to make everything last. To die before you die is not to renounce the world, but to love it without needing to own it. You begin to live as the sky lives, allowing the clouds of experience to pass through, never mistaking them for yourself. Birth and death, joy and sorrow, gain and loss, they come and go like weather. But the sky remains, and when you realize you are that sky, infinite, open, and untouched, you understand the true meaning of immortality, the rebirth that follows death. When you finally die before you die, something astonishing happens. You are born again, not into another life, but into this one truly, for the very first time. You begin to see with eyes unclouded by fear. The world appears new, not because it has changed, but because the one who sees it has disappeared. You no longer view life as a series of possessions, but as a continuous unfolding. You realize that everything you thought you were holding was never yours to begin with. It was simply passing through you, like wind through the reeds, like sunlight across the sea. To die before you die is to understand that you were never the owner, only the witness. And in that understanding, you find what all your striving failed to uncover. Peace, the kind that needs no reason, that has no opposite, that simply is, the lightness of being. Have you ever noticed how heavy living feels when you're clinging? Every desire, every regret, every attachment becomes a weight. But when you let go, when you stop demanding that life be a certain way, that heaviness disappears. The Stoic moves through the world like a leaf carried by a gentle current. He does not fight the flow. He trusts it. This does not make him weak. It makes him free. He works with life, not against it. He accepts both joy and sorrow as expressions of the same harmony. He lives without needing to win, without fearing to lose. And because of that, he touches a freedom that cannot be taken away. This is the art of dying before you die. The art of living without burden. You no longer cling to people. You love them purely. You no longer crave security. You rest in the present. You no longer chase happiness. You discover it quietly breathing within you. When you no longer fear loss, you begin to live as one who has nothing to lose. And that is where real joy begins. The stillness beyond change. Close your eyes. Imagine the entire world moving. Clouds drifting, rivers flowing, stars spinning. Everything in motion, everything changing, everything rising and falling. And then, beneath it all, a stillness. Vast, silent, untouched. That stillness is what you are. The Stoic learns to rest in that stillness. He participates in the dance of the world, but his heart remains unmoved at the center. He still acts, but without attachment to the result. He still feels, but without drowning in emotion. He still cares, but without possession. He has discovered the timeless space within the fleeting moment, the awareness that watches all things come and go, and yet remains. That awareness does not fear death, because it sees that death is just another wave in the sea of existence. When you realize this, not intellectually, but experientially, you find that nothing can truly be lost, because what you are was never born, and therefore can never die. The final meditation. Now take a slow breath. Feel it enter your lungs, a soft tide rising. Hold it for a moment, then let it go, a soft tide receding. Each breath you take is a small rehearsal of life and death. Inhale, birth, exhale, release, over and over again. Life is teaching you how to die gracefully every second. And if you listen, you'll realize something profound. You have already died countless times. To who you were, to what you believed, to what you loved. And yet here you are, still breathing, still aware, still witnessing the eternal flow. So what then is death? Is it truly the end? Or merely another letting go, another turning of the wheel, another sunrise waiting beyond the horizon? The Stoic does not pretend to know, but he does not need to. He lives in harmony with the mystery. He knows that what is real does not need to be proven. It reveals itself when you stop resisting. So die a little every day. Die to your anger. Die to your fears. Die to the endless need to control. And watch as each small death gives birth to greater life. Let your old self dissolve into silence and see what remains when everything else fades. You will find not emptiness, but peace. Not absence, but presence. Not death, but life. Vast, radiant, eternal. The closing reflection. To die before you die is to awaken before you wake. It is to live without walls, to love without demand, to walk the earth with quiet reverence for its impermanence. So the next time you lose something, bow to it. Thank it for passing through your life. Let it go with dignity. When sorrow visits, invite it in, for it too is part of your becoming. When joy arises, embrace it fully, knowing it is a guest, not a prisoner. And when your time finally comes, as it must, you will not beg for one more sunrise. You will smile, because you have already learned the art of dying before you die. You will know that the setting sun is not an ending, but a return. That death is not a punishment, but a passage. That life, real, unbound life, has never been something to keep, only something to reflect. And as you take your final breath, you will feel what the Stoics felt, what the sages always knew, that in letting go of everything, you gain the only thing that was ever real. The light, the stillness, the infinite presence that was never born and can never die. That is you.